is John Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and what we get to do today is going to be real fun for me, and maybe you guys too. We're going to get to show you guys a brand new juicer that just is now released on the market, and this is Tribest's new Solostar 4 juicer. Now I have had videos of this machine in the past, previewing it, but I'm glad to say that it is finally out now and available at DiscountJuicers.com. Now, the thing is, the Solostar 4 juicer is a horizontal single auger slow juicer that literally crushes and squeezes and cold presses the juice out. So, one of my favorite style juicers are the vertical auger juicers, such as the Solostar juicer by Tribest, and that one I like because it's vertical. They said they tend to work a little bit faster, a little bit more convenient, but they're not, good at juicing certain things such as wheatgrass. So if you want to juice a lot of wheatgrass or leafy greens, I generally recommend a horizontal auger machine. In addition, horizontal augers can have some benefits over the verticals, including, you could easily put the produce back in from a horizontal auger back in to basically wring it out drier, and this works very well in the horizontals. This doesn't work so well in the verticals. The way they're designed, they need kind of hard, solid pieces of produce to basically, crush and then get the juice out. So the main thing that's different about the all-new Solostar 4 is that it's the lowest RPM horizontal single auger juicer on the market. It runs as low as 47 RPMs or revolutions per minute. It has up to 33% more torque, so that's like the sheer power it has for crushing and juicing all the produce, and it can use up to 20% less electricity than other horizontal single auger juicers on the market. So it saves energy, has more torque, runs at lower RPMs. These are all definitely good things to have, on paper. But the question is, how does it work in the real world? And that's what we're going to find out in this video, because I'm going to go ahead and unbox and show you guys everything that comes with this machine. Then we're going to go ahead and make a fresh juice using the Solostar 4 and some fresh picked produce from my garden. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and open this baby up. Now I do want to say that, depending on where in the world you live, and my customers, I only ship to the United States, the specifications on this machine will vary. Using 220 volts at 50 hertz is going to yield different RPMs than using 110 volts at 60 hertz, like we have here in the United States. So inside this box there's a number of items, of course, the first of which is the main juicing body. So if you're familiar with other horizontal single auger juicers on the market, this is probably the most compact horizontal single auger juicer on the market. In addition, I like that they actually have a separate cord. Many juicers have a built-in cord. They kind of hang out and get in the way. This one actually uses a standard IEC plug, that's similar to the cord that powers your desktop computer. So that's really nice. So this is nice and small and compact. Looking on the bottom of this machine, we're going to go ahead and say it's 120 volts, 60 hertz, 135 watts. So that's less wattage than other machines. And this is made in Korea. Oh, and the on-off switch is right here on the back. And it's a 3-position switch. So you have an off position in the middle, up is on, and if you press it down for momentary contact while holding it down, it reverses the machine to unjam it if you need to do that. So yeah, this is the motor body. Next, of course, we have the power cord here. So this looks like about a 6-foot long power cord. We can go ahead and plug that guy in. So the other thing that's really cool about this machine, it actually also has an integrated fuse holder here in where you plug in the power cord. So if you should overload it, it'll blow the fuse, put a new fuse in, and you're up and running again. A lot of other machines on the market may still have an internal fuse that really is not user accessible. So I really like that Tribest has done this. Next, inside the machine, of course, you get some accessories. You not only get one strainer, but you get actually 2 strainers, one to go over the cup and one to do additional straining if you would like. So I really like that Tribest goes the extra mile to provide you all the accessories you'll need without nickel and diming you or having you having you to actually go out and buy a strainer because they just simply didn't want to include one. Next we have the main juicing body here, and this is the design. Now this design has changed, and I want to let you guys know that this is the 4th generation of the Solostar juicer series. They had the original Solostar, they upgraded, they improved it, they came out the Solostar 2, then they've actually upgraded that, came out the Solostar 3, and now they've upgraded that, and now they're out with the Solostar 4, that's the improved version. You know, much of the auger and the juicing screen didn't change so much, but what did change was this housing here and how this latches in. It's significantly stronger than other juicers on the market. There have been instances where this actually will just crack off, but the way they built this looks like it's nice and solid. One of the things I like about the Solostar juicer is this nice large screen here. This has the most screen area of any horizontal single auger juicer, which means you have more time for the juice to come out of the screen. You know, if you have a smaller screen, there's less of a window that the juice can actually flow through the screen. Instead, you're going to get wet pulp in your collection bin. So hopefully, because there is more screen area, this is also more efficient. Now the other thing I like about the Solostar 4 is that it's a 2-stage horizontal single auger juicer. Unfortunately, there are still companies out there that are selling single-stage single auger juicers, which I think just should be a crime. Companies should have upgraded their machines by now, and if you guys are the companies that still have single-stage horizontal juicers, you guys need to come out with a new version. This is like 2015, and they got the iPhone 6 already. Maybe the iPhone 7 is coming out, I have no idea. But anyways, we want to get the latest and greatest, and technology always increases, and that's why I like when manufacturers come out with the newest machines with the latest technology, because in general the newer machines usually get higher yields and work better than the old machines. So yeah, the largest amount of screen area, and this has been reinforced. It's now the GE Ultimate material, and I want to let you guys know that Tribest advertises this as BPA and BPS free, which are some plasticizers that many people are concerned about if they're into health. So that's the juicing screen here. Next, the main part of the juicer that is the workhorse is this auger. This is also made out of the GE Ultimate material. And this is the longest auger on any single auger juicer, horizontal single auger juicer at this time. And it's specially designed to basically accept the produce in, first crush it, and then squeeze out the juice in this last section. And how this 2-stage system works is, once you put the produce in, on initial crush, juice is released, and that comes out stage 1. And as the produce gets crushed down more, it's squeezed a lot more hardcore, and the juice is then squeezed out of stage number 2. So this way you're going to maximize the juice yields that you're going to get with the Solostar 4. And this is the main body housing I'd already talked about. They have an upgraded area where you put on the end cap, so it's going to be nice and tight and more durable. In addition, unlike many of the other juicers on the market, they've expanded where the juice comes out. So this makes it a lot easier to clean. One of the problems I've had with my other horizontal single auger machines is where the juice comes out on the bottom. It's a small hole, and you could never really seem to clean it properly, but with this nice large hole, juice could flow out easily, and you'll be able to easily get in there and clean it. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and show you guys how easy this is to assemble. We're just going to go ahead and put this in, and we just turn this thumb screw there, it just locks into place. Next we're going to go ahead and take the auger, put that right in there, seats right in there. You're going to take your screen, and it's very important on the screen, there's a part that says upper. The upper is always facing up, and you're just going to go ahead and place that right back in there like so. And then you're going to take the outlet drum housing, put it on, and just tighten it to close, and this is mostly all set up. Next we have a funnel. And so I like funnels because they direct the produce in the machine. This funnel is actually a little bit small for me. I wish it was a little bit larger, but it's actually a steep funnel. And then also, of course, you get the homogenizing blank plate. Now, I can't believe that there's some juicer manufacturers that do not include a homogenizing blank plate when it is something that is easily doable with their machine, because this allows you to have much greater flexibility with your juicer. Now, instead of just juicing, like this is set up to juice or make nut milks, you can now make things like frozen fruit sorbets. So if you're trying to get off ice cream and all high-calorie dairy products. You could actually simply take some bananas that are ripe, you peel them, you freeze them, then you take them out, you put solid bananas through here with a blank plate, and instantly your bananas are transformed into raw vegan banana ice cream. Now there's no cream in there, but it's 100% bananas and they're really creamy just the way you put them in. And you could also, put in other frozen fruits, frozen berries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. I've done frozen cantaloupes, frozen mangoes, frozen pineapples. Man, it's all super delish. And that's only possible with this blank plate, or mincing cone, I think is what they call it. Now besides just making things like the frozen fruit sorbets, you can also make things like nut butter. So take roasted peanuts, run it through the machine with this blank plate installed in place of the screen. You could have your own fresh nut butters. You make it home. If you do raw nuts, the oil content on many raw nuts are not high enough to basically make it stick together like that nut butter you know and love from the store. So you might have to run it through a couple, 5-6 times, and or add a little bit of oil to it to get it to congeal and stick together. I've also used this to basically shred up sauerkraut or shred up cabbage to make my sauerkraut with. I've also used this attachment to make things like salsa and even my salad. Sometimes when I'm really lazy, I'll just throw all the vegetables through the juicer with the blank plate. It crushes it up, mashes it up into small particle size at low RPM, so it maximizes the nutrition in there, maximizes the phytochemical and phytonutrients, especially if you're processing something like cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage and kale, and then you can just simply eat it. So yeah, the use of this screen is very useful. You can also crush up your coffee beans, mince garlic, and other herbs and spices as well. So yeah, I like that a lot. And let's see, oh, this is another nice feature they have. Not many juicers have this. They basically have a cover. Nobody wants to get dust in their juicer, and when you have this setting and you don't use it for a while, dust can accumulate, so you just have a cover that goes over the top, so you're not going to get dust in your juicer, and you're not going to be drinking dust if your juicer is sitting for too long and you're not using it, or if you're in the middle of a construction zone. All right, so let's see, you also have a pusher here, and I want to encourage you guys to only ever use the pusher to push produce in the machine. If you use a knife, a fork, a spoon, your cat's paws, your fingers, that could damage whatever you're putting in the machine. It could damage the machine and whatever you're putting in it. So I do not recommend that. Only use the pusher. I have had ex-girlfriends put spoons, knives, forks, and everything. Oh, I could just push it in there. Well, and they broke the machine. So I'm telling you guys now, please don't do it. Just use the pusher. All right, next we got, let's see, the cleaning brush. So this is like an oversized toothbrush with a screwdriver point on the end to help clean the screen when you're done, and nice hard bristles to clean all the areas of the machine. This is very important, so you don't want to lose it. All right, last couple pieces we got the 2 collection bins. So we have one collection bin here that'll collect the juice coming out from underneath, and we're going to go ahead and put the screen in there. And the next collection bin just goes on the end and catches the pulp. So one of the things I would like to see is that under this juicer there's actually a lot of space, and I wish Tribest would have actually made larger containers that hold more juice and actually hold more pulp instead of just these small dinky containers. Because when I juice, I like to juice maybe 32 to 64 ounces at one time, and that means I'll have to be emptying these out several times during my juicing process. In addition, you get a few end caps, which is really nice. Some juicer manufacturers are not including these end caps anymore, but some of these end caps, such as these 2 end caps, are pasta making end caps. So what this will do is if you mix up a batch of pasta, the dough, flour, eggs, whatever they put in there, you can actually run it through the machine and it'll extrude pasta-like shapes. I think this is like a linguine or fettuccine style, and this is just a standard angel hair. And then you're going to take your pasta and then cook it. This will not make the zucchini pasta. For that, you need a spiral slicing tool that we offer at discount juicers, such as the Spiral Fix, which I also have a video on demonstrating. So yeah, so if you're into raw foods, these are not really going to be helpful for you. And in addition, you get 2 more, and actually one is for the juicing, which is the larger hole here, and we're just going to go ahead and screw this on the end. And this is actually fully adjustable, So you're going to want to put this in the end, and you can adjust it from really tight, which I recommend always if you're juicing like vegetables, like screw it all the way in. And you could turn it and let some of the tension off to keep it loose if you're juicing fruits and the fruits are backing up on you and they're not coming out. Now the horizontal single auger juicers are notorious for backing up when juicing fruits because there's too much back pressure. Back pressure is a good thing when you're juicing vegetables because it allows your vegetables to get fully juiced before the pulp comes out. But on the fruits, because they are so soft, they juice relatively easy just by the crushing stage. And then some of the back pressure is not a good thing because it'll basically clog up your machine. Finally, the last attachment here, end cap, is actually for when you are doing the homogenizing with the homogenizing plate. And yeah, that will allow you to make the nut butters, frozen fruit sorbets, and everything I mentioned before. All right, last thing in the box is simply this. It's the Solostar 4 instruction manual. And this is actually a nice solid manual here. It's a total of 94 pages, and it's in multiple languages: Spanish, French, German, as well as English. And it has the specifications in here, and it has probably about a good dozen juice recipes. So I really like that a lot when manufacturers add recipes, because a lot of people will buy juicers and they don't know what to make. So there's some recipes in here for you guys to get you guys started. And in addition, in here they talk about the warranty. And I want to talk about that for a second. You know, a juicer is only as good as the warranty you get with it. You know, some juicers have a short 90-day warranty, some even 30 days, some 1-year warranty, which is really popular. But the Solostar 4 has the longest warranty in the juicing industry. It's a total of 15 years. So imagine if you had an iPhone and it had a 15-year warranty, and any time that it broke, not due to your own fault, you know, it was going to be fixed by the manufacturer under warranty. So this would be amazing, and there's very few appliances that you could buy with long warranties like the Solostar 4. It's the 15-year warranty, longest warranty in the industry, to assure you're going to be juicing. And I want to stop there for a minute because, you know, juicing is just a tool. It's a tool for you guys to utilize so that you can include more fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet. Now, it's great if you want to sit there and eat 5 pounds of carrots. I don't know that I would do that or that I would enjoy doing that, but you could simply put 5 pounds of carrots through the Solostar 4 juicer and get about 4 to 5 cups of fresh carrot juice, thereby getting the majority of the nutrition out of those carrots, less the fiber, and get that right into you in a more digestible and assimilatable form. And this is very important in this day and age when many people have digestive challenges and they're not able to, you know, chew their food well and absorb all the nutrients out of foods that they're eating due to compromised digestive systems. So yeah, long warranty is your assurance that you'll be able to use these juice machines to help you turn around your health, meet your health goals, whether that means losing weight, whether that means, you know, healing yourself from diseases in the body, or whether that means you know, being able to perform better at sports or better at your job by having more mental clarity and physical acuity because you're feeding your body with the best nutrition on the planet from fruits and vegetables. So anyways, this the manual here says it's the SS4200 is a model, and it's BPA free. And basically in the manual they basically just go through all the different parts, all the parts included, and how to assemble the machine, how to use it, and the warranty. So I mean, it's pretty basic. And what I'd like to do next for you guys is actually just get juicing in this machine to show you guys how it works and explain to you guys some of my tips and tricks that I use for juicing in the horizontal single auger juicers, such as the Solostar 4. So another cool feature of the Solostar 4 is that besides just you know, working with electricity, you can also buy the optional Z-Star attachment. And that's what this is right here. This is the Z-Star attachment. That's just basically the hand crank version of the electric motor. You can take off the whole end cap, or the whole end juicing paraphernalia here, and put this in the Z-Star juicer, and you know, clamp that down. You're going to clamp this to a table, you know, to a picnic table, to your pickup truck, wherever, and now you could actually hand crank out your juice. So not all juicers actually offer this option. And only the Tribest juicers are designed to work with the Z-Star hand crank attachment, which I like a lot. You know, I took this over to Europe once and I used it, over in Europe because they have different voltages over there than the States, so I was able to juice on my vacation. I guess without further ado, what I'd like to do is actually go ahead and next get juicing for you guys and just show you guys how this juicer works and show you guys my tips and tricks for getting the most out of your horizontal single auger juicer, including the all-new Solostar 4. Alright, so now I'm back with all the fresh picked produce from my garden. We got things like the Armenian cucumber here, and yes, this is a cucumber, although Armenian cucumbers technically they're melons, but they taste like cucumbers, especially when they're young. This one's getting a little bit big. We got about a dozen leaves of fresh dinosaur kale. We got one organic apple from the store. We got some purple cabbage from the garden. We got a yellow beet from the garden. And we got some heirloom purple carrots from the store. Another thing I'd recommend you guys do is always rotate the juice you're making. Today I'm using this recipe. Tomorrow I might make something totally different depending on what I harvest and what I have available. You know, and I see a lot of people always make the same juice every morning. I always make the mean green juice for breakfast every morning. And the problem with that is that you're getting, you know, the same nutrients day in and day out. I want you guys to always change it up. So, you know, get those yellow carrots, get the red carrots, get the purple carrots, you know, besides just getting the standard orange carrots. You know, get different kinds of cucumbers, get lemon cucumbers, get Armenian cucumbers, get Japanese cucumbers if you can. Instead of always juicing kale, which might not be the best thing, you know, switch it up. Juice kale today, lettuce tomorrow, you know, juice some sorrel the next day, juice some dandelion, juice some Swiss chard, juice some spinach. I always want to encourage you guys to rotate what you're juicing, because that way you're going to get the widest spectrum of nutrition into your body, and also give your body a chance, you know, to process all the different, you know, nutrients and anti-nutrients in the foods. You know, eating too much of any one thing is not a good thing, in my opinion, especially with kale grown in industrial agriculture these days. So yeah, that's what we're juicing today, and I guess without further ado, let's get started. Now, when juicing in any juicer, I always encourage you guys to rotate what you're juicing. A person might look at this and say, okay, John, well, I'm going to juice all the carrots first, then I'm going to juice the apple, then I'm going to juice the cabbage. You know, I want to encourage you guys to like put, you know, one piece of carrot in there, followed by a couple leaves of the kale, followed by, you know, a little piece of the cucumber, followed by a piece of apple. And this way, any juicer you use is always going to work better when you vary what you're putting into it. This is especially true with the slow juicers, such as the horizontal single auger juicer that I have today. Vertical single augers and even twin gear juicers work better with varying the different produce items you're putting in. So we're going to go ahead and turn this guy on, and you guys could hear how loud it is. It's actually quite quiet. It's saving me electricity, and here in the United States it runs at 57 RPMs due to the electricity. We're going to go ahead and first cut open my Armenian cucumber, and we're going to show you guys what it looks like on the inside, this big cucumber melon. And look at that, this is a nice stage on the inside. It smells kind of fragrant, man. This is going to be really good. It's going to make a lot of juice. We're going to go ahead and put the cucumber in there, and once again, we're only going to use that pusher. Now, if you get cucumbers and selecting fruits and vegetables to juice, it's very important. You always want to select the firmest fruits and vegetables you can. You know, if you're getting leafy greens, they should, you know, not be all wilty. They should just be erect like this one, and snap back when you push it down, right? Old produce is not going to juice well, especially in single auger machines, horizontal or vertical ones. So this cucumber is fresh picked from the garden, nice and firm. If they start getting soggy and bendy and soft, they will not juice as well, and they will back up more and cause some issues. I'm glad to see that the Solostar 4 is working great here for me. It's juiced this cucumber without any signs of backing up. I could put it in and just literally chops it right up, and you guys can see it's extracting the juice here, and the pulp is coming out this end, and it seems actually fairly dry. So we're going to go ahead and push the rest of the cucumber in. Next, I want to go ahead and feed in a piece of the dinosaur kale to see how that's going to work. Another thing that I'm looking at is down below where it's collecting the any kind of pulp in the screen here. There's very little pulp collected, so this is definitely a good thing. And look at this, I put the kale in, almost gets sucked right in there. We might need a little help a little bit. And that's juicing that right up. Next, we're going to go ahead and follow that with maybe something with a softer texture, such as the apple. Now, the feed chute size on this horizontal single auger juicer is 1.5 inches diameter in a circle. So, I do believe that juicing companies should expand the diameter of the feed chute to make it more easy for the customers to feed things in. But this is basically the de facto standard size that most juicers have of this type. I'm going to go ahead and put a carrot in there, and the carrot, let's see, almost self-feeding, not quite. If we maybe flip the side down and do the small side first, maybe it will be. And that's almost self-feeding. Next, let's go ahead and cut up this beet. See how it handles something nice and hard and firm. And look inside that beet, nice and yellow. Once again, I don't want to just eat standard, purple beets. I want to eat different color beets because they have different phytochemicals and phytonutrients. Beets are rich in a nutrient or an antioxidant known as the betalains, which are very healthy for us. And once again, we're going to go ahead and use that pusher to push it all in to make an amazing juice concoction today. Another thing I want to let you guys know about is when you're feeding produce in, you don't want to always just cram it in as fast as you can and get it in there, right? You want to let the juicer have some time to work, so push it at a slow and moderate pace. Let's see, what didn't we juice yet? Oh, we didn't juice this cabbage. So we're going to go ahead and cut this cabbage in half. And look inside that little cabbage there. That's beautiful. And as you guys can see, I'm literally juicing the rainbow. I got yellow beets, I got purple carrots, I got green kale, purple cabbage, and some light green cucumbers. And this is what is going in my juice, because you will only be as colorful as the juice you drink. So let's see, go ahead and put in that cabbage there. See how it handles the cabbage. Once again, you hear some of that noise. It's really crushing and squeezing out and extracting all the delicious cabbage juice. Now, the juice man, also known as Jay Cordage, worked with Dr. Garnett Cheney at Stanford, healing people with ulcers with cabbage juice. And one of the things they learned is that if they juice the cabbage juice and let it sit around for too long, it didn't have the beneficial effects, and the people, would not get better from their ulcers. So they needed to drink the juice right after it's made. And to this date, I still recommend that as soon as you guys make the juice, you drink it as soon as you are able. Now, I know some of you guys are not always able to drink the juice right after you make it because you got to go to work and all this kind of stuff. And I also agree that it'd be far better to drink a juice that you made with your very own juice extractor in your home, than drinking a coffee, a soda, or tea, or virtually anything else that you could be drinking at the office. Alright, so I'm continuing to juice cucumbers in the Solostar 4 juicer. It's working about as well as any other horizontal single auger juicer. And I want to let you guys know that on the horizontal juicers, it does take a little bit more time to feed your produce. And that's a con. In the vertical augers, literally it's almost self-feeding, where you just put the produce item in there and it just literally gets sucked in the machine. So I personally do like those machines better, although they're not the best machine in every instance. One of the big benefits of the horizontal single auger juicers like we're using today is that they have a very low learning curve. Literally, you assemble the juicer properly, you put the produce in, and even if you don't order it in the most bestest way like I'm doing today, it'll just work for you, right? So, this is the style machine I got for my, aging parents, so that they can actually juice more fruits and, more importantly, the leafy greens and the vegetables, and get them into their diet, because this is a lot easier to use than some of the other machines that have a lot more parts, a lot more complicated. And let's go ahead and continue to juice in the Solostar 4 machine. As you guys can see, this pulp is actually quite colorful. This pulp is a fair bit wet, so the cool thing is on the Solostar 4, you can actually just take the pulp, drop it right back in there, and it'll actually squeeze out the pulp and even get more juice out of it. One of the things I like to do when rejuicing the pulp is push in a carrot after it, and that gives it some extra fiber to really latch onto, to really get that pulp moving through the machine and getting it the driest as possible. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and continue to juice, and we'll come back at you when I'm almost done. Alright, so I'm almost done juicing in the Solostar 4 juicer. I almost got a whole collection cup full of my strained out juice here. And I want to really quick get into some of the benefits of the horizontal single auger style machines. I mean, overall, number one, if you want to juice wheatgrass, this is the style that I recommend, because no other style juicer is going to juice wheatgrass as well as a horizontal single auger style machine. After all, dedicated wheatgrass juicers are special designed horizontal single auger juicers that are just designed for juicing wheatgrass. But yeah, with the Solostar 4, it'll juice the wheatgrass as well as every other leafy green and microgreens and sprouts quite well. And that's why I like it. I mean, here's some of the kale that I just juiced, and this pulp is dry. So I mean, this juicer excels at juicing leafy greens, and if leafy greens is what you want to juice most, this is definitely the machine you want to get. In addition, like I mentioned earlier, it's really easy to use, you know, for older people that don't have to deal with a lot of fumbly parts, that don't have to deal with, you know, problems with the machine, with it jamming and all this kind of stuff. And it's also good for people that really want to get the maximum yield, because as I showed earlier, you could literally take this pulp, feed it back through the machine, and it actually works very well to wring it out a second time and get more juice out. And you can't really do that on a vertical single auger machine. In addition, these machines generally do homogenizing with that blank plate I showed you guys earlier better than vertical juicers due to the tighter tolerances, and they grind a little bit better, I find. And you know, these actually are also easier to clean because they do have less screen area than the vertical juicers. They're easier to clean, going to take you some less time for cleaning. And cleaning is a big deterrent, you know, for a lot of people when juicing. Now, I want to encourage you guys to always make the time to juice, because you are worth it. You guys only get one body, right? And you know, you are what you eat. If you put junk in, you're going to get junk out, and it's not healthy for your body to be eating all this junk food like we are in this day and age. And in my opinion, fresh vegetable juice like I made today in the Solostar 4 juicer is one of the best things you can ever put in your body. So here's a nice glass of green juice, most of it fresh from my garden. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a taste test. That's so delicious. There's barely any fiber in that juice because we did use a screener and caught some of the fiber in there. Nice and clean. I really like that it added a lot of that Armenian cucumber. It really mellowed the juice out. One of the tips I want to give you guys is you want to watch a video I made, Free Juice Recipes for Life. It's actually how I concoct and create all my different juice recipes, and every recipe that I have is different. It's based on what I'm juicing, and I'm not going to really get into that now. But especially if you're starting, the one tip I will give you right now is you want to go light on the leafy greens and the beets. Don't use a lot of beets, don't use a lot of leafy greens if you're just starting. Maybe use all cucumbers, carrots, and one leaf or two leaves. See how that tastes to you? It's probably going to taste pretty good. You know, add an apple in there if you want some extra sweetness, or if you don't, you can maybe put some lemon in there for some flavor. And if you're going to juice ginger, just put a little bit, because a little bit of ginger definitely goes a long way. In any case, that's pretty much the Solostar 4 juicer in a nutshell. It works great, just like I'd expect a Tribest product to. It has a 15-year warranty, which is your assurance that it's going to be working for many years to provide you and your family some of the most nutritious foods on the entire planet, which is fresh fruits and vegetables in the form of their juices. If you're interested in purchasing the Solostar 4 juicer, please visit me at discountjuicers.com. I make these videos to educate you guys, but also you need your guys' help and your guys' support, because if I didn't have people support me, I will no longer be able to make these videos. Also, be sure to like this video. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already, for upcoming episodes where I'll be comparing the Solostar 4 to some of the other different brands of juicers on the market in the future. And be sure to check out past episodes, over 400 episodes now, comparing all different kinds of juicers to one another so you can determine the best juicer for you, as well as I have many videos on sharing you guys the tips and tricks I've learned over the last 20 plus years of juicing, so you guys could select the best produce, learn the best way to store your juices, and even learn how to make your own recipes so you don't need to follow a recipe book any longer. So once again, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors. Alright, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and no, it's not about juicers, it's about dehydrators, another one of my favorite appliances that allow you to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables in a more wholesome state than how you would get at the grocery store.